Hello and welcome to Coffee and Bonsai with Tom. Today I have a special treat for you, a very exciting episode. I haven't done an episode on pots in a while, and I'm going to call this one, some very old new bonsai pots. And I'll tell you, I'm a sucker for pots. I just love them. They're almost as exciting as trees. And I recently came upon on eBay where I found some really old pots, so lots of patina and just interesting. They're not expensive pots. They're just old, which I find extremely charming. And I think I'd rather have an old pot with a lot of wear and patina and character than a shiny new pot. Because it just adds so much to the whole composition of the tree in the pot. So I found some, and I picked these things up very cheaply. And the interesting thing to me, which I didn't even realize when I was initially looking at them, is, although they're very old, these things are, I don't know, they're probably 30, 40 years old, but they've never been used. So I think, somebody had them, I don't know, in their nursery or under a bench. Who knows? Maybe somebody passed away. I don't know. Um, I'd love to know the story, but essentially, yeah, you have these really old pots which you can't buy anymore, and they've been exposed to the sun and some weathering and rain probably, and they're just charming. So I couldn't, I wasn't sure, but they were so inexpensive, and the pictures weren't that great. I'm like, I'm just gonna buy them, and they came in, and I'm just so happy with it. Like I really, really like the character in these things, and so I want to show them to you today. I've got, I don't know, 5 pots, and I'll tell you about them as we go through. But let's take a look at these. So let's look at this first one. Beautiful green glaze. You can see the patina. It's got some age on it. It's got I just really like it. And you know, when you find the right pot with the right tree, it just makes all the difference. You can see it's got a little damage on it, but clearly this was outside in the weather. Probably in a mild environment, it's got a bit of a crack here, but hey, I just think that's all character. I'm going to be using this with indoor trees, so I don't care about freezing. And yeah, so, just a inexpensive Chinese pot that's very old and has some character. And I think these are just gold. I really, really like it. And in fact, the seller sent me an extra pot because he didn't realize this one had some damage on it, and which was pretty nice. So I basically got 3 pots for the price of 2. And this is the one that he gave me. Similar color to the last one. It doesn't have quite as much character, but still, I really like it. It's got, it's a beautiful green. I just love this green glaze. I like blue, I like green. Let's look at the size. So this is the perfect size for me too, for what I like. I like the pots to be about 2 inches high because I find that gives you, an about, I don't know, 6 to 7 inches. I'll call it wide, maybe 6.5 inches, and then about 4 inches. And I find that it's just perfect, for the size of trees I like, is it keeps it moist for a decent amount of time, and just that's the sweet spot for me. So this one on the bottom, it's not quite as deep, but it'll be fine. I usually just mound the soil up a little bit. Um, and yeah, just look at this glaze. It's just a nice pot. And it's always kind of funny to me, like with bonsai. The trees are kind of dynamically fast because they're growing all the time and constantly changing. And the pots they have a very slow dynamic. See, it's got a little damage there. Love it. Little character. Uh, where the pot just slowly gets age over time, and you put those two together, and it's just an awesome synergy. So whenever I can find a pot that's old, I'm all over it. And this was maybe I think this is the one he gave me. I don't know. He gave me one of them. So it's a blue pot. I think I've talked about how I just love blue, and this is just a really nice blue. Um, And yeah, it's got, a lot of the Chinese pots, they're sort of not as wide. I mean, I guess they're wider, but not as deep, I guess I'd say. And when I say deep, I don't mean height, I mean like the depth of the pot. So they kind of have this geometry to them. But yeah, this one looks quite a bit newer. So maybe this one was inside. I don't know. It's not as aged, but you know, uh, I think I paid $15. So I got three pots for $30. And here they are. And they got some shades of green here, and I think for inexpensive pots, this is hard to beat. And like I said, I just love the age on them, especially the top two, and having a little character on them. Um, I think those are probably stress cracks from heat or something. Uh, but they just look great. So since I last showed any pots on the channel, I also got a couple other pots which I want to show you. I got these on. There's a Facebook group called 99 Cent Bonsai. Pretty sure that's where I got them. And it's a pretty good. I mean, there's some good stuff on there. Some of the stuff's expensive. It's like everything's on there. But this one, it really doesn't come out in the video. But I mean, look at this thing. You can tell it's old. It's a Japanese pot. It's just beautiful, and it's like a deep, deep purple, almost a black. It kind of looks more black on the video here. And look, it's got clearly this one is quite used. It's got a lot of plant DNA in there, and it's got a chop on it there. I don't know where it's made, but I really you can kind of see some of the purple there if I hold it in the light just right. But I had an idea. I have my golden aria tree. Let me just grab it here, and I want to show you because I bought this pot thinking, okay, I'm gonna eventually put this tree in it because I'm not that crazy about the pot it's currently in. Let's just see what we might think about that. It doesn't always work out. Like frequently, I've bought. Yeah, this guy needs a trim too. I bought, which will be coming on a video soon. Yeah, it's kind of tough. Sometimes you have to take the tree out. I find when during repotting, have three pots available ready to go, and usually pick out a beauty. But sometimes you have an idea for a pot for a specific tree, and it just doesn't work. And I'm kind of wondering that might be the case here. I haven't given up. We'll try it when I get to repotting that tree soon, and we'll see how it goes. But I mean, I just love the pot, so it's great to have this in my collection, and it's about the perfect size that I already mentioned that I really like. So something nice will go in there. And I got this pot from the same seller. Much not nearly as deep. It's another Japanese pot, and it's sort of a beautiful yellow, kind of a muted yellow. You can tell it's got some age on it as well. But it's about an inch tall, so you don't have a lot of soil in there. Luckily, I mostly work with Portulacaria, which are easy to, it's tough to kill them, so that can work out. But just a nice little pot. And again, just by luck, it's kind of around the dimensions I like, except for the depth. But yeah, nice pot. It's got some age on it. It's got a chop there. Eventually, I'll try to figure out who made these. But yeah, I recommend 99 Cent Bonsai if you're if you like to collect pots, because they got a lot of good ones on there, and it's fun to just watch it week by week and then go in there and sort of bid on something that strikes your fancy. So yeah, I got these two from the same seller, which is a nice surprise. And yeah, so I highly recommend that channel. The last pot I want to show you I kind of got it. There's a one of my neighbors has put up a giveaway area for plants you don't no longer want. So I frequently put a lot there, and I've never taken anything from there, but I was over there and I saw this pot, and I was like, whoa, this looks handmade. I love the color. I love the size. And so I picked it up. I've put so many plants over there, and I thought, okay, this is something that I want, and it's just very charming. And again, I got it for free. It almost seemed like fate. And it's got a crack in it, which doesn't bother me. I can always fix it if I need to and add even more character. But yeah, just a charming, beautiful pot. There's no chop on it, but I think this will be nice for some sort of succulent. And with that, yeah, always be on the lookout for pots. I guess that's the message of the day. And thanks for spending time with me. And I look forward to seeing you all again soon.